Okay, back with another video, this one about retargeting. I think this might be quite a long video, there's a lot to cover, but I do encourage you to watch it all. Retargeting is very important when you're marketing any product through Facebook ads for many reasons. So there's quite a few points to go through on these slides, and we do retargeting with the use of custom audiences. If you already know what these are, you might want to skip through this introductory part of the video. I'll put timestamps in the description so you can just go down and look there, and maybe if you want to see how I do my retargeting or to get some other ideas or whatever, you do that. But for people who aren't aware of what retargeting is, I do suggest you watch this whole video. So how do we build custom audiences? Well, we do that in the ads manager. To get to audiences, we go to the mega menu, and I already have it at the top here in my shortcuts because I've been using it a bit. If it's not up here at the top, just scroll down, look for ads manager, and it's the one underneath that, audiences. Click to get to audiences, and we build custom audiences with the use of our pixel. So any product page that you make for Shine On, say here, this is an example page of mine with this necklace in here. This has got the Facebook pixel code in the page, so once anybody clicks off your ad and comes to the product page, Facebook will track the data, it will track their actions on this page. Maybe they add to cart, it will track that action. Maybe they initiate checkout and start putting in their checkout information, their credit card information. That will get tracked as well. And if they make a purchase, then obviously that will get tracked too. What we do is configure custom audiences so Facebook knows what to put where. I've already built a few. These might not mean much to you right now, but what we want to do is build a custom audience, and I've put here, start with specific web page 30-day window. This is the first most basic custom audience I'd recommend you build for any product once it begins to get any kind of traction. Obviously, if you're testing products out, as you should be, you're testing multiple designs often, you'll find some get traction, others just people aren't interested in them. So if you're not going to be pushing the product hard, there's not that much point building custom audiences. The minute I see any kind of traction on a product, I'll hop over into audiences and start to build custom audiences for that product. So let's take this product here. I need to move it down so you can see the URL. And you need to copy this bit here, okay, the URL, not this bit on the end. This will change, this number will change depending on the variant the customer possibly picks. So if you watch while I click here and here, the number on the end will change. That's the variant identifier. We're going to delete that, including the question mark. We're going to get the URL, the base URL. We can also get this base URL from the product page without even having to look at it. So if we're in our Shine On platform, we go to my products and we go through to the necklace, and we can just copy the base URL from here as well. Either or, it's exactly the same. And to create a custom audience for this product, we'll click website, then click next. And what we want to do here is pick people who visited specific web pages. Make sure that option is picked. We're going to leave the retention on 30 days. If you remember, this is what I'm recommending you to fix up in the first place. And then we're going to paste that URL. Whoops, no, we're not. We're going to paste that URL into here. So Facebook is going to collect a custom audience of people who visited this specific web page in the last 30 days. You need to give it an audience name. The necklace is called Those We Love, so I could say call it an identifier, something like TWL, Those We Love, site visitors, 30 days. and create audience. And that will create the audience here. It will say below 1,000. I'm not even running any traffic to this product or in any campaigns on the ads manager, but as the product gets traction, these numbers will begin to grow. Okay, it will always say below 1,000 until that number gets over 1,000, and then you'll get an actual number indicating what the amount is. Up to 1,000, you won't get a number. Another point is that when you do build custom audiences, they typically take about 2 to 3 days before they are ready to use. I know this says ready now, but it's not really ready because there isn't anything in it. There aren't any numbers in it because I haven't run any traffic to it. If I go to another business manager of mine in the custom audiences over here, you will see that there are numbers here. Some of them are below 1,000. Others are not, and all these, you know how big they are once they get over 1,000. So this one here is 48,000, 2,100, 11,000, etc. So that's what they'll look like once your numbers begin to grow, once your custom audiences begin to grow. Start with this one, 30-day window for the product. Even if the custom audiences are less than 1,000, you can still use them. You can still run ads to that custom audience. So if you can understand, rather than running an ad to a specific interest, such as parents or married, or even when you do broad targeting and you don't specify any interests at all, in this case, we're going to be running an ad to this custom audience. Once you start to get traction on a product again, you can set up multiple audiences to test all kinds of events. So you can make custom audiences based on people who view content, who add to cart, who initiate checkout, who purchase. You can also build custom audiences based on people who visit your Facebook page, your Instagram page. And if you're doing ads via video, you can create even more custom audiences, known as video views or VV for short. And you can build custom audiences based on people who have viewed 3 seconds of your video or 10 seconds of your video, 75% of your video, 95% of your video, etc. If you're collecting emails in an autoresponder, you can upload that email list as a custom audience, mark it to that. If you're using Shine On platform, you can download the custom email list from there, upload that to Facebook and make a custom audience from that. So there's a lot of different ways to make custom audiences, a lot of different configurations. For instance, you can make them 30-day retention, like the example I just showed you. Or you can do 14 days, 7 days, 60 days, 180 days. If you want, you can do 29 days or 2 days, or you can pick the retention window. So back to this one here. We've just made this custom audience, 30-day retention window, site visitors for this product here, this necklace. If I wanted to make that one for 60 days, copy the URL. They're really quick and easy to make. We go to website, we click next, change the retention window to 60 days, pick specific web pages, paste in the URL and name it. Always name everything correctly. Just like when you're doing ads, it really helps to know where you are easily and what means what. And these are going to build. So now we're going to run ads to these custom audiences. What I really recommend you do is when you run retargeting campaigns, use different creatives, okay? So you've ran one ad, say you're pushing a necklace, right, for Shine On. You've used a certain picture for the ad. Say you've used this particular image for your main ad. All right, this is an example ad I've made. You've used this particular image for your main ad, and then you're going to retarget them with a different image. Okay, so this image here we used for the main ad. I enlarged it a bit so the necklace was a bit larger in the image. I would retarget with a different image. So I would use this image for the retargeting ad. This is a good thing to do, I think, because you're not just pushing the same looking ad in front of people. They've already seen your main ad. A good point here to mention, for instance, would be the fact that the main ad's necklace is silver and the retargeting image we're going to use is the gold. Maybe they like the design of the necklace, but they didn't like the metal. This is a thing to think about, and then we're going to put another ad under their noses with the gold version of the necklace, and they might think, oh, I like the gold version, and then they're going to buy it. All right, let's get back into Ads Manager. We're going to make a quick ad for retargeting using one of the custom audiences that we just created. For this example, you've got a campaign running for this product, you've got traction, and obviously not everybody who views the product page or even adds to cart or initiates checkout or whatever, not everyone is going to make a purchase. You need to push this product back in their faces, and you need to keep doing this, all right? The main issue I see with retargeting is people not doing enough of it. And you need to spend quite a bit of money on retargeting. It has the highest ROAS out of any campaigns that you're ever going to run. This is usually the case. And the difference between retargeting campaigns and normal ABO or CBO campaigns is that when you're retargeting, your traffic's warm, okay? All these campaigns or any main campaigns that you're running to huge interests or even to no interest campaigns, these are to millions of people. You're essentially throwing mud at the wall and hoping some of it is going to stick. This is known as cold traffic. You're running these campaigns to cold traffic. Once they've hit your product page, this traffic is now classed as warm. They've expressed an interest in your product. They might like it. They've clicked through to your page. They might not want to buy it for sure, but they're interested in it. This traffic is now converted from cold. They don't know they want a necklace. They haven't seen your design. It's now converted to warm traffic. You need to retarget this traffic, and you need to keep retargeting it. So we're going to build a retargeting campaign here. We can either create a new one or just copy another one, my preferred method, and edit it. But to go through, creating a new one, conversions, and we're going to call it Those We Love, TWL, retargeting. And in this campaign, we're going to put adsets for different events. Right now, we're just going to do the 30-day VC, right? View content. This is going to open our campaign. And in this ad set, make sure purchase is selected and come down to where it says audience. We're going to pick the custom audience we just created. And this means that you'll be running your retargeting ad in this ad set to this custom audience. Anyone who's clicked through and looked at your product page for this necklace. We can leave the countries open because the ad set is running to this custom audience only. It's running to the people inside this audience. You can change your age and gender if you like. Turn this off for sure. Put automatic placements on. And then for the ad, we can just add this image. And I would usually use some text like this. And in this case, because we're showing them a necklace in a different metal, you would put something like that. And then obviously you can change something like that. Change your, add in your link. Actually, in this, I don't need to put link here.com. You would use the link of the product page, obviously, and put that in as the website URL. And then change the call action to shop now. And that is pretty much it. It's an easy ad to fix up, but the difference is the ad set, you're not picking any interests. you're using the custom audience to run the traffic to. And then you would just upload that as normal. And that is a very basic 30-day view content retargeting campaign. All right, next I've put here test different retention times with different creatives, and I've already kind of explained the different creatives bit, which means that they first come to this ad, they see this version of the necklace, then on the retargeting campaign we just created, they will see this image. We have a few different images here, and I do recommend testing. Once your product really begins to take off, you can then sort of start hammering down more on your retargeting by testing different creatives for 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, 60 days, and even 180 days. I've got products from Shine On that I'm running and have been running now for nearly 8 months. They're still making sales, so you can really push the envelope. Once you start to get a lot of traction, you can try a different image for this custom audience, and then a different image for this custom audience, and another one for this one, and this one, and this one. You can keep trying other images, just make the product look a bit different, present it in a different way. And all of this will push the customer more into thinking, oh, I want that, I'm going to make a buy, I'm going to make a buy. That's your job here. This is what you do by trying these different sized audiences. As you work up in the retention times, what's important is to exclude the retention time before. So I'm going to walk through how to do that now. If you remember in the audiences section, we created 2 audiences for this product. We created a 60-day and a 30-day. If the product's young, if it's less than a month old, obviously you're only going to want to be using this custom audience here. But once the product is older than a month, you can change up and run even more images and other kinds of ads to this audience. This audience includes everyone in this audience up to 60 days. So this is, if you like, 0 days to 30 days, and this is 0 days to 60 days. If we were going to make an ad for this with yet another image, I would exclude this custom audience from the ad. So let's walk through how to do that. This is the retargeting campaign, and this is for 30-day VC. I'm just going to quickly duplicate this ad set here, keep it in the original campaign. And this one is going to be 60 days. We're going to want to show yet another image, and where it comes down, when you've got your custom audiences here, we're going to obviously send to the 60-day custom audience, but we're going to want to exclude the 30-day. So now what you've done here, we include this custom audience, but we exclude this. So this ad set will run this ad to people who viewed in between 30 days and 60 days. People are going to come in, they're going to look at this ad, they're not going to buy. And then the retargeting ads are going to hit them in between 0 and 30 days of not making a purchase. They will be retargeted with this image here and this ad. And then when they pass the 30-day period, they're going to then be hit with this retargeting ad in between 30 days and 60 days. So let's just look at that one here. I'm going to rename the ad so we know that's 60. And for this ad, I would use another image. So let's go back to I would use, say, this one here. I could even order one of these from Shine On myself and take product pictures of it. That's highly recommended. These kind of stock images, everyone's going to be using these. If you order yourself the product, if your product's beginning to do well, order one and take some product photos of it yourself. You don't need an amazing camera or anything. You can just use your mobile device. You can use your cell phone. It's no problem at all. But let's just fetch this image from inside Shine On. You could use one of these. You could use, I personally wouldn't use those. I don't really like those images, but for sure we've presented him with that one first. Then the first retargeting ad, we're going to hit him with this one, and then on the next retargeting ad, we were going to hit him with this one. Okay, so we've got that PNG right there, and we're on the ad for 60 days now, and we're just going to change media, upload a different ad. And that's put yet another image in. And on this one, obviously leave the URLs the same as they are, but you can change some of the text, right? Forget to order. We don't leave that in, obviously, because it's not the gold version. And at this point, you could push them that little bit further by offering them a discount. Get 10% off today. Oops, today only with checkout. Get 10% off today only with checkout code CH10. You're offering them another little incentive to buy again. They've seen your product. They've been presented with one retargeting ad in the first month with this image. They still haven't bought. It might be on their mind. So what we're going to do is give them another little push by offering them a discount at this point. You could offer them a discount earlier if you like. That's completely up to you. There's no right or wrong way of using these discount codes. It's completely up to you. People do like them, and it's a really good way of giving the customer a final little push on your retargeting ads. Offer them a discount code, 10%, 15%, it's up to you. That's just quickly made another retargeting ad in our adsets. So we've got two now. One for 0 to 30 days, one for 30 days to 60 days. Back to the slides. And important point here as well that kind of expands on what we just went over. Once you make sales, you need to build an audience of product purchasers. And then you also exclude those from your retargeting campaigns. If that doesn't make sense to you, you know how on what I was just talking about, where on the 60-day view content campaign, we excluded the 30-day visitors custom audience. What we would also want to do is exclude any purchasers, any people who've already bought this particular product. To do that, we would go back to audiences and we would create a custom audience website again. I will do 180 days just for sake of argument. And what you want to do is you need to pick the event as purchase. Now, in my ads manager, this is a brand new ads manager that I'm just using for examples, so it does not have the purchase event in here. We've got page view, we've got view content, but because no purchase actions have been performed, we don't have that option. If you're making purchases on a product, this will have registered on your pixel, and you'll be able to choose purchase event in here. You choose that, and then you would call it, say, TWL purchases, 180 days. Everybody who's already bought this product would be included in this custom audience. So imagine that this is purchase, and do create audience, and now we have a purchaser's custom audience for this particular product. So back to Ads Manager, and as well as excluding the 30-day custom audience from this campaign, I would also exclude purchasers as well, right, like that. And I would also exclude purchasers from the 30-day ad set as well. like that. People who've already bought the necklace, you might not necessarily want to retarget them. What you're trying to do is hit your warm traffic and push them into buying. So we have these two ad sets fixed up right now. And as I've said, once your product takes off, if you like, and you're making a lot of sales, then you can work through and really push hard with different retention times on your retargeting. So you can do 0 to 7 days, and then you can do 7 days to 14 days. Obviously, make sure when you do this ad set, you exclude this ad set. When you do this ad set, you exclude this ad set, which automatically excludes that ad set. When you do this ad set, you exclude this one, which automatically excludes the previous, and so on and so forth. Make sure to exclude your custom audience of product purchases from all the campaigns. And this next point here, once your retargeting campaigns start to get traction, you can split those out by demographic. And for this, I'm going to show you just this other business manager here. I have a few retargeting campaigns that are running. You can see I haven't spent a huge amount of money on them yet, but the ROAS is healthy, right? And what happened here was with this particular product, I started just $10 a day retargeting, and this was view content 60 days X per, right, excluding purchases. I started this out with 10 a day, 10 US a day. I spent nearly 200 and I've made back 665. That one took off really quickly right away. So instead of raising the budget, which I never recommend on the ad sets, I just made a duplicate of that a few days later and pushed the budget up on that to 20. Spent 161 on that up to now, and that's already coming up strong. It's made nearly 500 back. The ROAS will probably soon match that. This one is just IC 180 days, so initiate checkout 180 days, excluding purchases. Again, spent 200 on that and made back 467. It's not quite as high a ROAS, but it's profitable, absolutely, so keep that running. And then I saw that if we do a breakdown of a campaign, you can see platform and device. If you do that, you can see here in the breakdown, by far the device that is getting all the sales, Android smartphone, right? If I just hover over it here, Android smartphone. Yes, the algorithm is pumping more money into this particular platform. You can see here it's spending more money on it than almost anything else. That's one of the factors why we've got the most purchases with that. But you can see here with iPhone is looking all right as well, but it's a little bit early to tell. So Android smartphone is hammering it, 8 purchases, way more than anything else. So what I did when I noticed that was that I duplicated this campaign again, and I just made it Android smartphone. You do that by, you go in here, keep everything else the same, and you go down to here, edit, and you can pick Android devices only, Android smartphones. So this makes a copy of this ad set, the one that was beginning to do really well. And now, after just 1 day, $9.92 spent, 2 purchases, 9.56 ROAS. I don't expect that to hold up at that level, but I do expect it to be high. Point is, what I was trying to make on the slide here, that as you spend more money on retargeting campaigns, as you get more data, you'll notice that it might not be Android smartphones that are most popular on your ad campaigns. It could be mainly males, or it could be mainly someone 35 to 54. If I go through to here and I do breakdown by age, The algorithm has pretty much spent the money where it ought to have, obviously. We've got one purchase for 45 to 54, and then all the others are in the higher age brackets. So I would be tempted to maybe duplicate this ad set out again and change the age ranges from 55 to 65 plus. And that would just narrow down your data even more and push more money into the right area, into the right place, and keep your return on ad spend high. So now we have a retargeting campaign for this particular product, the Those We Love necklace. And within that is 2 ad sets. As time goes on and you get more data, you can make other ad sets based on these windows, and you can also make other ad sets based on different objectives. Right now I'm just doing view content. When you begin to get the data, you can build custom audiences based on add to cart, initiate checkout, purchase, and also we get to audiences as well. You can also build them based on your Facebook page or your Instagram account. There's all kinds of different custom audiences that you can make. So you can do everyone who engaged with your page, anyone who visited your page, people who engage with any post or ad. And I really do encourage you, retargeting, just like ads, it's testing, right? It will cost you money, and sometimes at first it will look like you might even losing a bit of money, but testing is how you know what works. Once you find what works, then you can put more money into that. You'll make back all your losses. People who clicked any call to action, that's a nice one. That is people who've come to your ad and they've clicked this button, so expressed an interest. That's often a good custom audience to make. You can also do all of these with your Instagram page as well, and as I mentioned, if you're doing videos, you can create a whole other load of custom audiences. So plenty of ways to build different custom audiences to retarget. If you're not running retargeting campaigns, you are losing out on a lot of money. Okay, I implore you, get some retargeting campaigns up. Once the custom audiences are large enough, usually over 1,000, but you don't have to wait until they get quite that big. But the larger the custom audiences are, the better for when we move into using lookalike audiences. And that, in my eyes, is where the real power is. Once you push the product enough through interest targeting and up those numbers even more with retargeting, you then move into using lookalike audiences. And in my experience, this is where you make all your money. You can really push your budgets up. And if you made any losses at all initially, you'll kill it and make all that money back, plus a load more once you move into using lookalike audiences. Last point I'd make is you don't even have to start spending a lot of money immediately on retargeting. You can happily start with $5 or $10 a day. It's no problem at all. Start small. If you see them begin to work, right? Say like here, if you see them work at 10, try them at 20. If they work at 20, try them at 30 or 40. And just keep pushing the numbers up, okay? If the ROAS is good, if the ROAS is high, the ROAS on 10 here was holding out at a steady 3, so I pushed that up to 20. That's holding out at a steady 3. Tomorrow I'll probably push that up to 40 and just keep taking that up. And the more purchases you make on retargeting campaigns, the more you're going to notice which works. The more money you put into the retargeting campaigns, when you look in the breakdowns, the more you're going to be able to niche down on age, gender, country, platform, so you can kind of end up being really niche with your retargeting ads. You might see that in this particular retention window, it will be women aged over 45 from the United States on Android smartphone, and you can create ad set just for that, and then really pump all your money into it, and that will be the perfect demographic for your retargeting and the particular image you're using with that ad, and you can just push it, and you can keep pushing more money into it. You'll get a high ROAS, and you might even be possibly losing a bit of other money on your cold traffic campaigns, but what you'll make back on the retargeting, it will even things out a bit. Just please do retargeting. Please do as much of it as you can. Always allocate a certain amount of your budget. I'm not going to put a number on it because that'll be up to you, but always allocate a certain amount of your ad spend to retargeting campaigns. You know, it's essential to enable and grow your custom audiences, man, because once we get into the lookalikes, that's where the money is. That's where you're going to earn all the money, lookalike audiences. And I will cover that in another lesson. All right, hope this helped some of you out, and there'll be another lesson up soon. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. I'll see you in the next one, guys.